All right, so get this. Today we are diving into something pretty huge, something that could completely change the internet as we know it. We're talking Bonfida and this whole world of decentralized digital identity. Yeah, we're talking .sol domain names for sure. But more importantly, we're talking about really owning and controlling your online presence like never before. And we've got Bonfida's white paper right here, ready to go. And the thing that immediately jumped out at me was how focused they are on building a system that's not stuck on just one blockchain like Solana.
Yeah, it's really forward thinking for sure. They're using something called a wormhole bridge to basically create a universal passport for your digital identity. So imagine this, right? Your .sol domain name, it can let you seamlessly interact with like a decentralized application built on Ethereum or even a game world on a completely different blockchain.
Wow, so instead of being tracked inside just one platform, your digital identity, secured by your .sol domain, becomes like this master key, unlocking all these different decentralized experiences.
Exactly. And it's not even just about getting into different platforms. It's way bigger than that. It's about like the potential for building real verifiable reputation across the entire decentralized web. Let's say you're super active in a DAO, right? A decentralized autonomous organization. One of those that uses the blockchain for decision making. Right now, your contributions, your reputation, it's kind of stuck in that specific DAO.
Right, yeah. But with something like Bonfida,
With a system like Bonfida, your .sol domain, it's like it becomes proof of everything you've done. It's
yeah.
viewable and recognized in tons of different communities and platforms.
hmm
It's like you're carrying your credibility around with you, which honestly could totally revolutionize how we think about like trust and collaboration online.
Okay, so we've got this secure, this totally portable digital identity powered by Bonfida's Solana naming service, and this incredible interoperability thing, thanks to the wormhole bridge. But how does it actually work in the real world? I mean, their white paper mentions making the trading of .sol domain names super user-friendly.
Right, they're building an entire marketplace for these .sol domain names, which is really smart when you think about it. Because it's one thing to have the technology, right? But Bonfida is making sure there's a place for people to actually use and trade these digital assets. Think about the early internet, way back when. Domain names became super valuable as more people jumped online. Bonfida is trying to create that same kind of growth, that same excitement with these .sol domains.
Fascinating. And that brings us to FIDA, the token that kind of underpins this whole Bonfida ecosystem, right?
Yep.
It's not just another cryptocurrency, it's bigger than that. Holding FIDA, it's like you're getting early access to this whole new world of digital identity.
And the benefits are real. They're not just theoretical. Reduced trading fees on that .sol marketplace we talked about, discounts on registering your domain name. It's like they're giving people a reason to be a part of this from the ground up, from day one.
It's like joining a club, but in this case, the club is building the future of digital identity. Pretty cool.
And their white paper gets into the tokenomics too, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And one of the most interesting things they talk about is this burn mechanism. So basically, with certain transactions, a chunk of FIDA gets permanently deleted, it's gone. This is designed to make the value go up for everyone who's already holding FIDA. Right, so it creates this scarcity, this limited supply, which, if the Bonfida ecosystem blows up the way they're hoping, could be huge for FIDA holders.
But it's not just about making money, right? They have bigger plans for FIDA than that, don't they?
Yeah, you're totally right. It's way bigger than just, the financial side of things. They're talking about using FIDA for governance,
Right.
which could be massive for the community, getting everyone involved.
Totally. It basically sets the stage for a decentralized autonomous organization.
Mm.
So everyone holding FIDA, they won't just benefit if its value goes up, but
Mhm.
they'll actually have a voice in how Bonfida grows and changes. The white paper even mentions, like, actually implementing quadratic voting.
Quadratic voting, okay. That sounds interesting, but also kind of complicated, I'm not going to lie. Can you break that down a little bit?
Sure, so it's basically designed to give more weight to what the community as a whole wants. Not just the people holding the most FIDA. I mean, it's a bit technical. But the main takeaway is that your voting power, it's not just based on how much FIDA you've got, but also how much you're actually participating in the whole governance process, like how active you are.
Oh, okay. I like that. So it's not just a popularity contest. It encourages people to actually get involved and think about their decisions.
Exactly. And this whole approach to governance, along with everything else we talked about, like interoperability and the user-friendly design, it really sets them apart. It's different.
It really feels like a totally different kind of internet,
Right.
one where we're not just using it passively, but we're actually participating. We have real ownership and control over our digital lives, which is a big deal.
It is a big deal. Absolutely. It's all about taking back control of our data, our online identities, all that stuff. I mean, think about how much of our personal information these big tech companies have right now. It's kind of scary, honestly. But with Bonfida, the idea is to completely flip that on its head, give the power back to individuals.
It's funny, right? We started this whole thing talking about .sol domain names, but it's so much more than that. We're talking verifiable credentials, decentralized reputation, like having a say in how this whole ecosystem runs.
That's a totally different way of looking at things,
All
for
right.
sure. It's like building the foundation for a digital world that's way more fair and actually puts users first.
Yeah.
And, the white paper even touches on this, how Bonfida can be used for things like verifiable credentials, which is huge.
Yeah. Okay, so instead of needing a school or an employer to vouch for your skills and experience, you could have a system where all that stuff, your credentials, are stored and verified on the blockchain.
That's the idea. Imagine your education, your certifications, even the stuff you've done in online communities, all tied to your .sol domain. It's like
Mhm.
instant, verifiable proof of everything you've accomplished.
Wow, that could be a game changer, especially for things like getting a job or doing freelance work online. You wouldn't need recommendations or have to dig up old certificates. Your .sol domain, it becomes like your digital resume, always there and anyone can see it.
Yeah, exactly. It's about building trust and transparency into the internet itself from the ground up.
This all sounds incredible, like really amazing, but let's be real for a second. What's the tech behind all this? Like, what's actually making it work?
Well, it all starts with the Solana blockchain. That's the foundation. Solana is known for being super fast and having incredibly low transaction fees, which is super important when you think about how many transactions a system like this has to handle, potentially billions of digital identities.
Right, because if it costs a ton of money or takes forever just to use, no one's going to bother with it.
Exactly. Solana makes it fast and affordable, which is key. And then, of course, you've got the wormhole bridge, which we talked about before. That's what lets everything talk to each other, all the different blockchains.
Okay, so Solana provides the speed and keeps things affordable. Wormhole connects all the different blockchains. And then Bonfida, it's like the interface that makes all this complicated technology actually usable for regular people.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. They're not just building the technology, they're building the whole experience, making it easy to use and valuable for everyone, not just tech people. And they're doing it in a way that gives the community ownership and control, thanks to FIDA.
Right. It always comes back to that, doesn't it? It's not just about building a company, it's about building a whole movement, a new way of interacting online that puts users first, which is refreshing, honestly.
Absolutely. And that brings up a really important question, something that everyone listening should be asking themselves. I mean, are we going to keep going down this road where these huge platforms control all our data? Or are we finally ready for something different, this new world of decentralized identity, where we actually own and control our information, you know?
It really feels like a turning point. Like the path we choose now, it's going to have huge consequences for the future of the internet. Okay, we've talked a lot about the future. Let's bring it back down to earth for a sec. If there's one thing you want listeners to remember about Bonfida, what would it be?
Honestly, Bonfida, it's not just about having a cool domain name, though that's definitely part of it. It's about seeing a future where the internet, like the actual power of it, is put back into the hands of the people using it.
Yeah.
They found this huge need in Web3, this need for a digital identity that's both portable and secure. And they're building a way to do it, a solution that's actually elegant, it's easy to use, it just works.
They're not just building a product, are they? It's bigger than that. It's like they're leading this whole movement towards a digital world that's actually fair, where users actually matter.
And the best part is, this isn't just some far-off dream. It's happening now. The technology is here. They're building it as we speak. And by understanding what Bonfida is doing, you're already part of that. You're ahead of the curve.
I love it. So to everyone listening, do yourself a favor. Go check out Bonfida and the Solana naming service, see what it's all about, read their white paper, explore their website, and just imagine for a second what it would mean to truly own your digital identity in this new world, in this new internet. That's some seriously mind-blowing stuff. It's been a wild ride today, hasn't it? We started with .sol domain names and ended up talking about the entire future of the internet. Like, how crazy is that? But that's what we do here, right? We dive deep, we explore the edges of what's possible. As always, thanks for coming along for the ride. We'll be back next time with another deep dive, uncovering even more amazing ideas shaping our future. Until then, stay curious.